Welcome back to Patriot Network TV. I want to talk to you today about the extent to which the U.S. federal government wastes money, but I want to do this in a very particular context. I want to do it in the context of the story in Wisconsin. The President of the United States, as is his habit, enters into the fray in Wisconsin without knowing the facts. Now, it is amazing to me that a gentleman who claims to be a constitutional attorney, claims that he taught constitutional law, doesn't understand the limits of the U.S. federal government when it comes to the activity of public sector unions. In the Carter administration, let's see, should we go backwards and count? Should we go George W. Bush, Bill Clinton, George Herbert Walker Bush, Ronald Reagan, Jimmy Carter? In the Carter administration, Mr. Carter, not a raving right-wing lunatic, some would say one of the worst presidents of the 20th century, Mr. Carter severely restricted the power of federal unions, specifically their right to strike and collectively bargain, were severely limited by the Carter administration and executive orders signed by Mr. Carter. Now, jump forward to the Obama administration. Mr. Obama immediately never missed a chance. In the words of Rahm Emanuel, a good crisis is a horrible thing to waste. And the particular interpretation of that phrase for President Obama is never miss a chance to kick your enemies over every perceived issue that could ever possibly be tied to them. In Wisconsin, the public sector unionized workers have, and this is because Wisconsin is the birthplace of progressivism in the United States, they have the right to collectively bargain. Now, they don't have the right to strike, although they all, every one of them who's been interviewed freely admits, well, we don't have the right to strike, but we do strike. And as a matter of fact, we're striking right now. As a matter of fact, the teachers are calling in sick. I believe most of you have seen the video of doctors, quote unquote doctors, physician heal thyself, first do no harm. Doctors writing medical excuses for the picketing teachers who aren't in the classroom. They're being paid to be in the classroom, but they're not in the classroom because they're at the state capitol demanding that the state of Wisconsin go even more broke. They're $3.6 billion upside down, but they got to go even more broke to provide even more benefits, or a right that they don't have the right to strike will be enforced against the current governor. It is unbelievable to watch this. But again, back to the narcissist in chief, when President Obama comes out and immediately says, well, I think the governor of Wisconsin is unfairly treating public sector union members, he doesn't take the time to be a serious adult and do the research and find out if U.S. federal government workers, who he's the boss of, who he's in charge of, have more or less rights than the people who are public sector workers in Wisconsin. And of course, the people in Wisconsin who are state workers in the public unions have more rights, i.e. collective bargaining, than do federal workers. And it is the basest type of hypocrisy, a hypocrisy born of pure ignorance on the part of the president, that leads him to make these derogatory comments about the governor of Wisconsin. Governor of Wisconsin has to balance his budget. Can't spend $1.5 trillion a year more than they take in receipts, as Mr. Obama can, and just can't get away with that. But there's a greater issue, there's a more important issue here, and that important issue is this. Why is it that liberals love to waste money? Why is it that liberals embrace programs that they know don't work, can't work, won't ever work? Why is it that the liberal wing of American political activity is based on trying to deny the reality of human nature? Why are these things true? It's first and foremost because liberalism is a religion. It's not a political philosophy. It is not even a life philosophy. It is a religion. It is a deeply held set of beliefs that operates at a level that is not rational. The faith of the liberal is the more the government controls every aspect of day-to-day life for every human being, the better life is. Now, I want to send you to the Heritage Foundation website. And as all of our good listeners and supporters know, we're big fans of Heritage. And I want you to go to Heritage, and I want you to go to the March 2nd Morning Bell. And the title of the article is Why Liberals Love Government Waste. And it references a new Government Accountability Office study that is 345 pages, and it basically lays out how we can save about $400 billion. Now, the Liberals gave it polite applause and then predicted that nothing would come of it. Because wasting $400 billion when you've got $1.5 trillion deficit, it's nothing. But beyond that, to a good liberal, the more the government wastes money, the better they are, because they're controlling more and more of the economy. The essence of the liberal mindset is to be in control, in charge of everything. Liberalism, as it's currently constructed in America, is a direct assault on individual freedom. That's the most important thing to take away from the current situation in Wisconsin. Now, I don't want to spend more than about 6 minutes at a time on an episode, so we're going to call that good for today. We're going to come back and do a couple more episodes about liberals and how they love to control things rather than allow people to be free. In the meantime, think about all your liberal friends and what they really want to do. It isn't social policy. It's not about the children. It's about control. It's all about control. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.